welcome back to Yoga on Ashley G Wellness. My name is Ashley, and today we are focusing on the kidney organ system. So from a modern standpoint, we know that the kidneys have a lot to do with filtering and purifying the blood and helping to remove waste from the body. And from a Chinese medicine standpoint, it has various functions. We have two kidneys. One's a yin kidney and another is a yang kidney. So one deals more with water, one deals more with fire. One of the things that the kidney does is it pulls the qi from the ether into the lungs, so it helps assist the lungs in breathing. And some other things that it has a lot to do with in the body from this Chinese medicine standpoint is reproduction, growth, development, the hair on our heads, so its appearance, how it looks, the thickness of it, the color, and so on and so forth. And another thing that the kidneys do is it stores our jing, or our essence. So this is the stuff that we are born with. So it depletes over time, and however much we're born with is how much we're born with, and then as we age, it depletes naturally. So all in all, what we're going to be doing today is focusing on yoga asana that helps to support, strengthen, purify the kidneys from both this modern Western standpoint and from this ancient Eastern standpoint. So poses like boat pose, Paschimottanasana forward folds, twists, side stretches, anything with bending, flexing, extending, and twisting along the line of the kidneys, so around the midline of the torso. These types of poses will generally have a positive effect on the kidneys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and come into a comfortable seated position on your mat. Take your hands to your thighs, either palms up or palms down. Root down through your sitting bones and lengthen through the top of your head. Just take a moment here to connect with your breath. Noticing how deep, steady, if it's constricted or free-flowing. And just notice without judging, just be curious. Maybe also noticing how you're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. Any or all of those aspects of the self. And take a full breath in through your nose. And exhale, let it out with a sigh. And gently open your eyes. Please begin on all fours, hands and knees for cat and cow. Just make sure your wrists line up with your shoulders, knees line up with your hips. And as you round and lengthen, you want to start from the base of your spine, moving vertebrae by vertebrae all the way up to the top of your head, rounding. And on your inhale, reversing that movement, again, base of spine, moving all the way up your spine, lifting your chin, lifting your chest, broaden across your sitting bones. Then just continue back and forth at your own pace, with your own breath. Just being mindful of the subtleties you feel in your body. Do your best to breathe slow, deep, even breaths. Next time you inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Walk your hands forward to the front of your mat, feet back, knees off the floor for downward facing dog. Do feel free to keep your knees slightly bent for your low back, or work your legs towards straight. Tone thighs and lift kneecaps as you reach your heels toward the floor. Then push your hands down and forward, feet down and back so your hips are lighter and more buoyant in space. And feel free to put as little or as much movement into your down dog. You could do down dog jog by bending and straightening your knees one at a time, or just be still. Look forward between your hands. Slowly walk your feet forward. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Bend your knees so your ribs and thighs touch. And then evenly round your spine over your legs. Feel free to clasp your elbows with your hands. Just hang here steadily. Let everything relax toward the floor. Maybe add in some swinging motions for ragdoll or grandfather clock. Maybe even add in tapping right elbow to right shin, left elbow to left shin, back and forth, if that serves your body. And come back to center. Bring your fingertips to the floor to lengthen your spine halfway. Keep your knees slightly bent. Place hands on hips, shoulders back, and slowly push down through your feet to stand up. Take your feet together. I'm going to go through a little bit of a flow here. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Bring your weight back toward your heels. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, boat pose, Navasana. Lower your bottom to the floor. Reach your legs towards straight, arms towards straight. Inhale here. Exhale, hands behind your ears. Lower halfway down, Ardha Navasana, half boat. Inhale here. Exhale, come up. Try to stand up without your hands, but feel free to use your hands. Exhale, arms by your sides. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair pose again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, boat pose, Navasana. Inhale, boat. Exhale, half boat, Ardha Navasana. Inhale your half boat. Exhale, snap up, bend your knees, stand tall. Arms by your side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, Utkatasana, last time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Navasana, boat pose. Inhale here. Exhale, Ardha Navasana. Inhale here. Exhale, snap up, stand up. Arms by your side, mountain pose. Interlace your fingers in front of your heart. Clasp your fingers. Pull your elbows wide. And then place your hands on top of your head, palms pointing up. Squeeze your shoulder blades toward each other and push your arms straighter. Push down through your feet, move your ribcage back and your tailbone forward. Keep your chin out of your chest. Try to keep your chin level with the floor. And release your hands by your side. Then take your hands back behind you, interlace fingers, squeeze shoulder blades toward each other, and do or don't straighten your arms, but work your arms towards straight. Bend your knees, thighs toward parallel to the floor. Weight in your heels. Tone your abdomen around your spine. Keep your shoulders moving away from the floor as you take your forehead to your knees. You can also just go toward your knees. Maybe just look at your knees. Try to get your thighs more toward parallel to the floor, big rounding of the spine. Push your knuckles toward the ceiling. Keep your hands bound. Stand up, push your hips forward, shoulders back, lift up through your sternum and press your knuckles back and toward the wall behind you where the wall and floor meet. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. On your exhale, step or jump back to the top of a push-up, plank pose. Hold your plank pose. Push your hands down, apart and toward your feet. Round your lower, middle, and upper back slightly. That'll help you tone your abdomen more and keep your hips up. Feel free to use your knees on the floor for more support, or pull your body weight forward. Bend your elbows, squeeze elbows in, thighs pressing away from the floor, lower halfway down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, straighten your arms, hips forward, shoulders back, curl back, hips almost touching the floor. Try to lift your thighs off the floor by pushing your feet down. Chaturanga Dandasana, back to the bottom of a push-up, and lower all the way down to your belly. From here, take your arms alongside your torso. Close your fingers, point your palms up. Move your shoulders away from the floor, hips push down and forward, shoulders move up and back, and then lift your chin up. Locust 1, Shalabhasana. Stay working here, squeezing your legs in. Maybe lift your legs with your thighs without bending your knees. Maybe lift your arms. Squeeze your thumbs toward each other, ankles toward each other, thighs toward each other. Try to keep your shoulders from pulling up to your ears. Press them back toward your feet. Breathe. Lower down, rest one side of your face on the floor. Makarasana, take your forehead to the floor, interlace your fingers around the back of your head. Pull your armpits back, bend your knees one at a time, and bring your inner feet together, knees hip distance. Push hands into head into hands, and widen your elbows to the sides, clamp your fingers closed, pull your shoulder blades on your back, pull your throat back, lift your chin. Then push your feet up, knees off the floor. Try to touch your head and feet, even though it's probably not going to happen. Just go in that direction. Lift your chin, lift your sternum, pull your shoulder blades back. Breathe. And rest. Take the other side of your face to the floor and relax everything. Lift your chin. All right, come up to Sphinx Pose. Take your forearms to the floor underneath you. So your elbows are under your shoulders, palms are straight out in front of you. Press your hips forward, ribs back, and then push through your arms to pull your shoulders back. Lift through your sternum, throat back, head back, look up, and breathe. Classical gaze, even though you're lifting your chin, look toward your nose. And slowly lower back down, forehead to your hands. Take a breather. Half frog. Come back up to Sphinx, and then turn your left forearm in so your fingers point toward your right elbow. Bend your right knee, reach back and grab your foot with your right hand, then pull your heel toward your outer right hip. Press your tailbone forward, try to turn your torso forward. Right elbow maybe turn toward the ceiling and maybe turn your fingers over your toes. Totally okay to have your fingers pointing down toward your ankle until you're ready to get that bigger shoulder stretch by pointing fingers forward. Lower your foot. Switch sides. Take your left foot with your left hand, right arm in Sphinx, but turn your fingers in. And then grab onto your foot, turn your fingers forward if you can, otherwise fingers toward your ankle. And breathe here. Press tailbone forward, ribs back, lift up to your sternum, and breathe. Lower your foot. Place your hands next to your sternum, curl your toes under, press up to plank pose, top of a push-up, and then press back to downward dog. Grow your spine longer, press thighs away from your ribs, pull your armpits forward toward the front of your mat, and breathe. Walk your feet to your hands. Take your feet outer hip distance apart. And then from here, push down through the big toe edges of your feet. Bend your knees so your ribs and thighs touch. And then just grab onto your big toes with your first two fingers and thumbs wrapping around your fingernails. Lean forward into your big toes and then lengthen your spine on an inhale. On an exhale, widen your elbows to the sides. Reach your heart first, head last in between your legs. And then as you fold, squeeze your shoulder blades toward each other. Pull up on your big toes with your hands and push down into your fingers with your big toes. Padangusthasana, hands to big toes pose. Next inhale, lengthen your spine. Place hands on hips, move your shoulder blades onto your back, and slowly stand up. Bring your feet together. Inhale your arms all the way up over your head. Then on your exhale, fold forward again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back, downward dog. Bring your feet together. Inhale your right leg high. Bend your right knee, stack your hips, press your right foot toward the wall at your left. Keep your left armpit as high as your right armpit. Breathe here, a couple more breaths. Then flip over wild thing, step your right foot back, push feet down, lift your hips, reach up, curl back. Come back through center. Keep your right leg lifted, and then step your right foot forward between your hands. Spin your back heel to the floor. Feel free to keep it lifted. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1, stretch up. Push through your back leg, reach through your armpits all the way to your fingertips. Lengthen the space from hips to ribs as well. Feel free to join your palms. Pull your throat back, head back, look up. Look forward. Standing splits, Prasarta Ekapadasana. Take your hands out toward outside and inside your right foot. Come to your left big toes, and then lift your left leg up parallel to the floor, balancing on hands and right foot. From here, you could stay and be parallel to the floor with your left leg, or feel free to bend your right knee for more support, at least at first. Take your right arm behind your right calf, so your long bone of your arm is along the bone of your calf. Now from here, lengthen your spine, then bend your elbows, pull your heart first, head last toward your leg as you kick your left leg higher. Try to turn your inner left thigh up toward the ceiling and your outer hip down so your toes and kneecap point toward the floor. Push through your right leg. Reach your left leg longer. More challenging, try to grab onto your right leg with your left hand as well and just balance on your foot. It's not easy. And lower down. Step back, down dog. Feet together. Lift your left leg high. Bend your knee, stack your hips. Kick your foot way back. Hold here a few breaths. Keep your right armpit as high as your left. And flip over wild things, step back. Push feet down, hips up, curl back. And come all the way back to three-legged dog with your left leg lifted. And from here, step your left foot forward between your hands, Virabhadrasana 1, spin your back heel down. Lift your torso, lift your arms. Make sure your left knee stays above your ankle, not beyond it. Push through your back leg, reach through your torso up through your fingertips. Maybe join your palms, pull your throat back, look up. Don't hold your breath. Prasarta Ekapadasana, lower your hands surrounding your left foot. Step forward into your left leg. Feel free to keep your left knee bent, right leg parallel to the floor. Maybe wrap your left arm around your left calf. Pull yourself forward, shoulder blades onto your back. As you fold forward, kick your right leg higher. Push more through your left leg. Turn your inner right thigh up, outer hip down. Toes and kneecap point down. Maybe, just try, grabbing onto your leg with your right hand as well. Keep your gaze at a steady point. Try to balance. Falling is part of the process. Just try to fall more mindfully. All right, step back, downward dog. Breathe here. Step or jump forward. Bend your knees. And then grab onto your shins. Tuck your head and then roll back. Roll back and forward, and then start to turn on your mat. So you have to tone one side of your abdomen to start to rotate your torso so your head points the other way, and then switch directions once your head points 180 degrees or on the opposite side of your mat. You just got to turn the other way to get back to your original position. Keep rocking back and forth. This is good for the back channels of the body. And come back up to seated. Take your legs straight out in front of you. And then pull your right knee in. Lengthen your spine. Take left hand to the left, right arm up on an inhale. Marichyasana variation. You can stay like this. You can just grab onto shin, ankle, or foot. Maybe add in a bind. Take your left hand under your right arm. Hold your shin in. Squeeze it in with your thigh too. Take your right arm to the right, shoulder back, point your thumb down. Bend your elbow, slide your right hand toward your outer right hip. Take your left arm up to the left, point your palm back, bend your elbow, try to grab your fingers by your outer right hip. If that doesn't happen, it's okay. Feel free to stay here or forehead toward your knee. Tone your left thigh, lift your kneecap. Inhale, lengthen. Kick your right leg forward. Pull your left knee in, second side. Take your left arm through, grab your foot, stay long, fold forward, right arm under your left leg, grab your shin, pull your knee in, stay working here, or take left arm to the left, point thumb down, shoulder blade in, shoulder into the socket. Bend your elbow, slide your hand up to your outer hip, right arm to the right, point your palm back, bend your elbow, grab your fingers, maybe fold forward. Keep your right toes and kneecap pointing up. Keep your breath fluid. Inhale, slowly lengthen your spine. Sit up, extend your left leg forward. Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Bring your heart first, head last towards your legs. Maybe bend your knees if you need to for more support. Pull your elbows wide And then reach heart first, head last, face toward your shins. And once you're ready, maybe drop your elbows into your outer shins. And breathe here. Inhale, lengthen, and slowly sit up. Lean back on your hands, bend your knees, take your right heel outside your left hip, your left heel outside your right knee. Sit up tall, lift and lower your hips so your sitting bones are even. Then wrap your right elbow around your left knee, hook your fingers, lift up through your sternum, move your shoulders back, and twist. Try not to round your upper back. You could stay like this or deepen the twist by taking left hand behind you, right arm up, inhale, exhale, twist. Armpit outside your thigh, lift up through your sternum. Try to keep as little weight on your left hand as possible. It's just used as a support. Maybe gaze beyond your left shoulder. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Look forward, untwist. Take your legs out in front of you, lengthen your spine. Then lean back, bend your knees, switch sides so your left heel comes outside your right hip and your right heel comes outside your left knee. Then lift and lower your hips. First start by left elbow around your right knee, hook your fingers, lift through your sternum, move your shoulders back, and turn your torso, twisting to the right. Maybe stay here, take right hand to the floor behind you. Inhale your left arm up. Exhale, twist. Armpit outside your right thigh. Lift your sternum, move your shoulders back, lift your chin, maybe gaze beyond your right shoulder. And breathe. Gaze forward, untwist. Take your legs straight out in front of you. Lift your lower back in and up. Lift your sternum. Move your shoulder blades onto your back. And then place your palms flat on the floor. Move your shoulders back. And then maybe pull your chin forward. Look down. Look toward your navel. Stretching the back of your neck. Keep your toes and kneecaps pointing up. Dandasana, staff pose. Feel free to keep this position or lift your chin. Walk your hands back. Feel free to keep your fingertips pointing forward. It's more difficult. Or turn your fingers out, less challenging on the wrists. Move your shoulders back, lift your sternum, straighten your arms. Push feet down, hips up, point your toes. Throat back, look straight up. Push hands down and apart. Don't hold your breath. Purvottanasana. Lower down. One more Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Sit up. And come all the way down for Savasana. Feel free to rest for the allotted 3 minutes I've placed in the video. If you'd like to rest longer, just make sure you turn your autoplay off on your video player. And just allow yourself to relax fully and completely in whatever your position is. And rest your attention on the space in between your thoughts. Thank you so much for coming to practice with me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.